The magic of the microphone. The magic of the microphone. The magic of the microphone. The Beyerdynamic TG V70d. How I came by it? Well, my friend again was talking about more affordable microphones, and also that's why I got the Sennheiser 945, which was just reviewed. Also, Beyerdynamic has been my microphone of choice, somewhat ignorantly, for decades. Good microphones. Most of mine, ones as I became more knowledgeable about such things, got more Beyers. They're mostly kind of vintage ones. So I thought, let's see what they're up to now, shall we? Let's have a current model. This one, I seem to remember at the time, I felt sure there were two versions. One of them with extended a proximity effect, or perhaps normal proximity effect, and one that was lighter at the base. I felt sure about that, but I can find no record of that now. I've only had it about a year and a half, 2 years maybe. I can find no record of that now, so I don't know. Anyway, here it is. Comes in a box. A bit bright, so it'll go dark. Yes, indeed. I've gone dark. Box is okay. I don't mind boxes. And within the box, the Beyerdynamic clip. One of the best, I find. Very good. Got no adjustment, but they never seem to... They loosen just a little. They're quite stiff to start, but they don't seem to get floppy. So, as you'd expect in the box, frequency and the usual stuff. Oh, and sticker. Yeah. Well. Also comes with a microphone bag. And opens around to the side. If you're not going to have Italian leather and fancy stuff, they got it right, seems to me. Pretty well padded, not overly. Could it do with more? I don't know. I think they've got it right, and compared to nearly everybody else I've found. So I use these if I can get hold of them, sometimes on auction sites to get them. And even for this baby, because I move around a lot, let's use the larger one. I think they do 3 sizes. So, you know, well done. Not difficult, really. I don't imagine. Maybe it is. And then the microphone itself, which of course we'll look at in detail later. What the manufacturer has to say: hypercardioid polar pattern, high gain before feedback, rugged construction, shock-mounted microphone capsule. Does come up with a version with an on-off switch, supplied with microphone clamp storage bag. Dynamic pressure gradient hypercardioid, close miking, 25 Hz to 18 kHz. You understand? 25 Hz. Yes. Distant miking, 1 meter, 90 Hz to 16 kHz. Oh, so further away it loses a little bit at the top. Anything else? No, not particularly. Applications: live vocal microphone. Sure to impress, both on stage and behind the mixing console. For singers, audience, rental, exceptionally powerful. Sound, rounded, exceptionally powerful. It's great looks, handling, well thought out. Have a look at the frequency chart just now. So get the chart, which will appear on the screen. The chart from their website is different. I think mine is the chart you'll see. I'm going to use is specific to my microphone. It's got the serial number there and so on. And the other one is kind of a slightly Mickey Mouse one that's smoothed out. Well, so if we look at it, my Lord, Lord Almighty, look at the top end here. Look at the top end here. Like a helter-skelter, innit? So, ragged and high. Where's the 0? Is that BV 10 dB? I assume it is. Yes, it is. That's a lot at the top there. And then a little bit of flatness in the middle. And then for me, you're thinking, why did I buy this? because I'm looking at, what, 500? Starting to drop off. By the time it gets down to 100, it's 8 dB down, and it just keeps diving. Well, the proximity trace isn't there. I don't know why this happens these days, but it seems to. So there we go. So looking at it, you're expecting a lot of boost at the top, and I don't know if that's kind of like random peaks or if that's designed in. I can't imagine that it's kind of roughly designed in. I imagine rough seems to be the word, but that's just what it looks like. Let's see what it sounds like. I'll put the Mickey Mouse curve on afterwards, just for interest's sake, and we'll get on with it. Here it is, next to an SM58, a little bit larger, pretty much the same weight from what I can tell. I've seen them do this on watch reviews, what they wear. Lint-free, oh, gloves. Oh. There you go. Nice enough, no complaints. The body, grill. Good threads. It's all right, don't worry. Foam form. About the same all the way around. Don't know if there's another layer. Don't think there is. Nice enough. That Beyerdynamic mesh thing they use looks like the same as from years ago. Maybe it's not. Looks it. Apparently this has a sort of double resonator for the treble. Quite lossy. To be a bit careful, it's quite tight with the foam. So no complaints. For the price point, it's kind of functional. Oh, isn't that sweet? What do I notice immediately? And what am I invited to explore? What do I notice immediately? The reverb. And what am I invited to explore? What do I notice immediately? What? So there we have that treble there the whole time. Bring it a little bit closer. What do I notice immediately? What do I notice? Then I notice which has some of those components as well, but a kind of a push there. What do I notice immediately, and what am I invited to explore? I'm going to bring it some closer still. What do I know? Ooh. What do I notice immediately, and what do I invited to explore? If you can bear it, I'm going to bring it closer still. But you see, yes, you can control it. What do I notice immediately, and what am I invited to explore? What do I notice immediately? So, yeah, the proximity. Okay. What I notice immediately is a kind of forcefulness. I'm reminded of the microphone I've just done, the Sennheiser 945, both hypercardioid, both hyped. So I'll do a comparison between the two at some stage. But so what I'm maybe what I'm invited to explore is stuff that's got a little bit of that. Aye, you having a laugh, biggin? Yeah, that's what I noticed immediately. I discovered a new test, and I think it's very valid. I don't know yet what to make of it, but there's certainly a result from it. So, this is it. You can hear all that. So, back on the SV33, I tried to balance them, So I'm going to put them close here. And I'm going to keep doing the same thing and just switch between with my fingers. So hopefully that minimizes my involvement in it. I'm just going to keep a hiss going to start with. So first of all, I'm on the Beyer. If I just do that and then go across. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just keep the hiss going and switch between them. So starting on the Beyer, then go to this. I'll try and nod so you know where we are. Put them close in a reasonable place. So if I have that. Now, I don't know if you noticed that. It's a different pitch. I'm pretty sure I wasn't doing it. I wasn't going... No, because I'd have to move too much there. So that's striking to me. Strikingly. You're thinking, what's he going on about? But when you listen to these things, that's strikingly different. So I'm going to do that across a few frequencies. Why not? And the difficulty then becomes knowing which one's right. Well, I guess we have to go with this one. But you start getting more mics involved and you don't know where you are. You don't know where the truth is, really. So it's an interesting thing. Well, I find it is. So let's do some things. Let's do some things about there. Get rid of the croissant. So if I'm on the Beyer now. And again, so different. And the trouble is I started to go with this one. Physically, because I could hear it, and I sort of wanted to bring that out of me. So that's why these microphones do affect you in your singing. And I guess we'll go low down as well. I may as well while I'm doing this. Yeah, so that is on the top there. So everything is covered with that because it was bound to be breath noises, even if you're doing low notes. The weight, the masculinity. I shouldn't say that because it's good for girls as well, but not that area of it. Of the 33 comes through, whereas the bloom to my ears of this one comes through. But this is designed for live, so that's what I noticed immediately. Let's remember which microphone I want to get on with the other business. What other businesses we have? We have pops, S's, breath, proximity, polar response, and ting. Pops. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Oops. Oof. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I do find a little bit ragged, after a while. A little bit tiring already. But it's got, yeah. But it depends on the PA, of course. We've got a dull PA. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I think it's okay. Oh, SM58, sitting here, feeling lonely. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So you can hear the SM58. I have to bring it closer because it needs to be louder, of course, even though I've set them up. And it's much more shut in, smaller kind of thing going on. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Not bad. Well, understandably, with such a low end, you've got to be careful. S is, well, we can guess. Ouch. EQ it. Well, it would help if I turned the right one. Yeah, then it just gets muddy. You see, EQ is not the answer, really, is it? Because I don't think there's detail particularly in that upper stuff. I think there's just lots of it. So you start removing it and it doesn't work so well. But it's breath. Who do you think? Ooh. Wow. I'm going to turn it down. Who do you think you're fooling? 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 I've noticed this a lot, actually, with a lot of microphones. It's probably the way they're designed, I'm guessing, is that when you're right close to them, sometimes the breath and the pops are less than you're at the proper distance. Who do you think you're fooling? 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 Who do you think? You go and figure that one out. Proximity. Yes. There it is from far away. There it is from far away. Still got a fair bit of bass in there. It's okay. Now you can hear the room. Hey, 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 hey. There, round about there, I feel the weight starts to come in. Hey, 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 hey. More intimate. Quite nicely managed there, actually. Now you can tell when I'm talking there's more in there. Hey, 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 hey. And there, hey, hey, hey. Loads of it. Quite manageable, and keeps a good weight a distance away as well. Polo response. Hypercardioid, we're told. Let's see. This is on axis. This is on axis. Coming round to the side. Coming round to the side. Starting there for the tone to change and to drop off a little bit nasally. That's okay. Well, you've got to be a little bit careful with that kind of an angle. It's not all that much. Coming round to the side more, coming round to the side more rejection, as you can hear. More rejection, more rejection, more rejection, more rejection, more rejection, more rejection, more rejection. Lots of rejection there, and you can hear the room, of course, don't forget. Firing off the ceiling now. Round to the back, and there's the lobe that we'd expect with hypercardioid. Coming back round, coming back round, coming back round, coming back round, coming back round. Most rejection. Some of it's coming down my nose, which is why it sounds a bit nasal, which is more on axis, so got to bear in mind all these things. Coming round to the front, coming round to the treble, coming back in, coming round to the front, coming round to the front. And there we are. Was there anything else? There's self-noise. I've given up on the self-noise, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just in case. I haven't noticed anything. I don't notice any humming and stuff there other than the fan or computer fan and stuff like that. So there we have it. Handling noise. Yeah, yes. Handling noise. Let's compare. Well, it's a different colour to the SM58, perhaps a little bit more of it, but then it goes lower. So all in all, yeah, I'm aware. Maybe part of it's also the finish. It does seem to have a slightly, I'd say almost tacky finish, as opposed to some of the grippier, fine finishes like the Sennheiser, top Sennheiser has. I don't know, it's not a very expensive mic. So I think part of it is that there's some friction, there's some stickiness when I take my hand off, which exacerbates any noise there is. But you know what? Just be careful how you hold it. Okay. I think that's about that. Let's hear what it sounds like. Maybe you're poor, maybe you have wealth, maybe in demand, or maybe baby on the shelf. Whatever your situation, there's one thing you should do. Reject all automation, let me work on you. I'm Mr. Manual. Automatic's not my style. I like to manually manipulate you, guaranteed to make you smile. They call me Mr. Manual. Automatic's not my style. Come on, with you, come on. They call me Mr. Manual. Ooh, automatic's not my. I like to manually manipulate you, guaranteed to make you manually manipulate. Yeah, I like to manually manipulate you, guaranteed to make you smile. Getting bigger, 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 yeah. I like to manually manipulate you, guaranteed to make you smile. El advendizo beliciarante.